So a lot of people just assume that when you're doing bossing, that I just assume that you're full buffed. Okay, and what full buff means is, and the easiest way for me to look at full buffed now is we can look in practice mode. Okay, so practice mode gives you a select max buff option, which is really nice. Okay, so you can obviously set your own, but if you don't know, max buffs here, and so that is you're getting 50% physical attack here from this one, right? And there's the option of, you can see when this gets selected, this gets blurred out too. So this is 30% and this is 50%. Okay, you cannot stack these, so you always want the 50%, obviously. Okay, 30%, this is physical damage right here, and you see it went from 20 to 30. Let's just go this way. So unselect all. So this is what I do for my boss, full buffing. Okay, 1 2 3 4 chestnuts, which gives 30% crit damage. Shrimp, 50% boss attack. And then these are the tangyuns. Okay, so this one gives 20% boss attack and 20% boss defense. Crit rate, 20% and 20% accuracy. And then physical damage for this one, right? Physical defense 20% and also physical damage 50%. And this is boss rush. So this is an additional 50% boss attack. Okay, so this is the staple 8. I would say these are the 8 that I consider full buffed. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Then there's additional stuff that is pretty common to have as well. Speed buff. Speed buff is huge, that I think is very underrated, that has a lot of impact in just, again, mobility, survivability, dodging stuff, gives you a little bit more reaction time, room for error. 30%. And the sort of cheaper option is speed buff. This is from Mulong, okay? Mulong Dojo. And then if you want to do defensive buffs, these two are paired together. This is more boss defense, 30% versus 50. And you can just play around with this, right? Accuracy buff is another sneaky good one. These are pretty pricey. And then jump, people like this. I don't really need it, but to each their own, right? So, and then for mages, instead of this buff, because obviously mages don't need physical attack, you're gonna go magic attack. Okay, grape juice, or this is the cheaper option. And then candy cane is actually really good, and this is in comparison to this basket right here. Okay, so if you're mages, this is what I would do. I think it's really only changing these two right here. And then instead of this one, you want to do this one. Okay, so this is magic damage. So this is what you consider full buff for mages. And then obviously this is for physical attack users. So this is a nice representation, max buff, and it's going to show you what you need for your situation. Okay, and so how do you get these in game, right? Because obviously practice mode isn't going to allow. So I personally use Rudibus because I do RA daily. So candy basket, carrot juice, chestnut, fruit yogurt, fried shrimp. I buy these all the time. I wouldn't, if you're going to use these options, I would not use RA coins. And I would not use RA coins for these lower tier ones if you try to do like a discounted version. But these ones are probably the most bang for your buck as far as buffs. Okay, and obviously in Trade Station you can grab some as well, consumable buff items. So these are really cheap, but you get baby chick cookies a lot just from playing the game anyways, so I wouldn't really worry about it. This is not really a good price. These are pretty pricey, but again, it's 3 versus 15. Mages got it a lot better. It's a lot cheaper here. And so here you can kind of just search through it, right? That's why, like, fried shrimp can get pricey. These ones can get pricey. So that's why I prefer to use RA coins when I can. Okay. So RA coins is one, obviously you can boss rush. You can get 1 boss rush potion monthly from Rudibus. And then Kerning Tower gives you 1 as well. And then if you also have an excess of coins, you can buy 10 carrot juice here per month. And then another sneaky way is guild shop. Carrot juice, you can buy this daily and buy this daily. This used to be way more a route that I used to take, but now that guild points are kind of more important, have more value, I'd never buy buffs from here. So that is how you get full buffs, and we'll talk about Tang Yuns, which I'm not really sure people know what it is. Maybe they do. So here, you want to get to level 3. You can choose these options if you want to do automatically, but there's a level 1 which only gives 5%, and then if you use 3 tickets, you can get it to level 3, which is going to give you the max value of, what was it, 20%. Okay. And then another buff here, Campfire, is pretty good. Here, ours gives 7%. And that is what I consider the staple standard full buff. Okay. If there's something that you want to do, and Tang Yuns are daily. Okay. So you can get more tickets by doing Mulong achievements weekly. You can get more tickets here by just doing Tang Yuns daily. So if you're really looking for the discounted version, Tang Yuns are the way to go. This is free. It costs you no coins. It costs you no resources. You don't even have to spend mesos on this, and just do it kind of on your own. But you want to make sure that you get all of this, right? And the most important thing, especially for non-necro weapon users that don't have fair trade, if you want to at least maximize your, maximize your damage without, breaking the bank on this stuff, you got to get the 100% crit rate. Okay, that is something that people with fair trade and necro weapons really have a huge advantage. But if you're like a chaos weapon user or inherent user or a mythic even, or a Rudibus weapon, whatever it is, and you don't have fair trade, you need to get the crit rate. Okay, and carrot juice is pretty pricey, can be, so you definitely want to get this Tang Yun, because this gives you up to 20% crit rate. So you want to try to get as close to 100% as possible, obviously, so all your lines are hitting as hard as possible. And then physical damage is the best buff. Okay, physical damage, or magic damage in that case, is better than the jellyfish, and these candy baskets are pretty good too. So there are options, kind of what fits your needs, but that is what I consider full buffed. And you'll see it in all my runs, right? When I have like my buff bar open, you'll see I have all these buffs going, all these different things, even drop rate, even like the maple buff, the maple tree buff for this extra drop rate here. Even these buffs here, physical damage 1%, 5% speed, just little things. And then fever, this costs crystals, but sneaky good ones are crit rate again, 10%, and then just all this attack, and then speed. Crit damage, 20% crit damage is actually a lot too. Okay, so this is how people sometimes can inflate their stats here, and it all just adds up straight. So you can get a ton of stats here, and you'll notice your damage, full buffed versus non-full buffed, is actually it's very impactful. Okay, rarely do people, if anyone's doing any sort of content, they're full buffing, even at the highest level. Like I full buff versus non-full buff for my arrow, for my demon slayer, even for my paladin, I have to full buff for like covert to see actual results. And obviously in the end game bossing, I full buff as well. So yeah, I hope this helps you guys understand it and kind of where to get it and the best thing that works out for you guys.